Well, obviously disappointing to drop 2 in a row, to not take advantage of an amazing crowd. Disappointing, but you got to give UNLV credit. They went and got it. You know, they're a talented team. They're well coached. They play hard. Their size, their length for sure bothered us. Deidon Thomas towards the end of the game just played terrific, made some big plays. They made free throws when they needed to. So credit to them. You know, they did a great job tonight. They obviously, earned that victory. So, questions?
You already mentioned the size, but I want to follow up on that. I mean, there's no trade deadline or anything like that. You guys have the roster you have. Is there any adjustment you can make to combat a team that has a guy starting at the 2 at 6'6" and a 6'8"
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it and see. You know, I mean, I think True and True gave us some great minutes off the bench. I think Mustafa gave us some great minutes off the bench. We just gave up a couple of offensive rebounds there where Luis Rodriguez is big, and he just threw us out of the way. And we just got to go make the play, you know. But it was a 2-point game. We had him deep into the clock and fouled him, obviously, and sent him to the line, and they cut it to 4.
Tonight it wasn't the Blue Brothers, but still the paint kind of was an issue. 48-26 was our score. I mean, what do you have to say?
Yeah, we I think we were better in the second half, but they were getting they're strong at the rim. They're tough at the rim. We need to do a much better job of making those. They were shooting like 70% at the rim. So we've got to be way more disruptive to allow the ball to get there, but also give them credit. They were really good at it too.
But you guys were making comebacks all night, but was there anything in the first stretches of the first half, second half, anything that you guys weren't doing or anything extra that they were doing getting out to those leads?
Well, the first half, we were turning the ball over a bunch, you know, so we had a lot of empty possessions. But we did a great job. We were down, 12, came back, took the lead. They built a little lead again. We came back and tied it. We just couldn't. It was one of those, like, we were behind, tie it, behind, take the lead. We just couldn't build a lead to get over the hump.
Donovan looked like he had a hip injury and then even an ankle thing in the second half. Just how much discomfort do you think he had to play through tonight?
Yeah, the hip, he looked hobbled for sure. Then it was the ankle, but I think he was good. I think he was battling. We got him out in the first half, but I don't think it's anything too serious.
Both of your losses here, Boise State and UNLV, I mean, those two, Jalen and Mash put up 30 shot attempts and missed, I think, 22 against Boise State, missed 23 tonight. I'm curious if you guys can sustain those two guys putting up that many field goal attempts if they're not falling.
Hard. Yeah, it's hard when you do. I mean, but they're great scorers, and they've made those shots before. You know, I mean, they've earned the right, certainly. What I look at more than anything is the defensive side of it, 49%. I have faith in those guys that they'll make shots, but it felt like a similar game to Boise State. Felt very, very similar, where we just couldn't make enough shots, and they were making better plays than we were.
JT with another 5-block game defensively. Actually, just all around. What do you think of JT?
I thought he was great. Yeah, I mean, he had some extra possessions. He was battling on the boards, doing a lot of good stuff there. So definitely a lot of positives from him.
It was a tough loss going into a big week, 2 huge road games for you. I could tell Donnie was a little emotional when he came in here. How do you get these guys to
We'll get him back. Yeah, I mean, we want it to sting. We want it to hurt, right? I mean, it is, but we're still sitting at 19-5, 7-4. So we got a great opportunity on Tuesday versus a really good team that just won a big game. So they'll be juiced up, and let's see what we can do. You know, so there's no time to feel sorry for ourselves. That's for sure.
Baker didn't put up any stats, it looks like, when he did play, but it didn't seem like you went back to him in the second half. Was there anything to that, or is it just True and Mustafa?
No, I thought True was really good. It's hard to play 5 of those guards, so I thought True was good.
You mentioned the rebounds. That's something Donovan mentioned too. Is just how he and Mash need to do a better job boxing out in the offense.
Yeah, and that's where the size, giving up a little size, hurt us for sure.